Hi friends, I'm going to do a mini tarot card reading for you. So this is a little demonstration of a basic tarot reading, and I'm going to do this for a client who has asked for a general overview of what's going on, just an overall outlook of their current situation. So I'm just going to bring my client to mind as I'm shuffling the cards and think about what the cards might help reveal about their current situation. So I'm going to do a 3-card spread here. We're going to have one card that represents the body, one card that represents the mind, and one card that represents the spirit. So when I take a look at these cards, first thing I'm going to do is look at the overall pattern of the cards and see what figures are there, what suits are there. So I have the Fool for the body, I have Page of Wands for the mind, and I have Two of Cups for spirit. So we have a little bit of variety here. We have one major arcana card, we have a wand, and we have cups. And all different. We have major arcana, we have a court card with the page, and we have a pip card with the Two of Cups. So there's a lot of variety. So when I see this and I see what the figures are doing in the cards, so they're all sort of featured in the foreground with background way off in the distance. The figures on the body and mind cards are facing away from one another. Oh, they're facing towards that way. I show you this way. So these body and mind cards are facing towards, away from one another. And the Two of Cups cards are facing towards one another. So if I take a look at all of these figures and all of the information, then I see a very rich experience because there's a lot of variety happening here. And I see perhaps in some ways a feeling of disconnect with the mind and body because they are facing away from one another. So there may be an opportunity there to ask yourself, well, in what way can I integrate my experience with my body and my mind? So some mindfulness practices like yoga or mindful walks or Pilates or other mindful movement practices could be super helpful for this client. So let's, now that we've kind of got an overall look at what's on the cards, we'll take a look at them one by one. So we have the Fool is the body. So the Fool is major arcana, which is big ideas, big energy, and it's kind of even outside of the arcana because the number is 0. It's like not even yet begun. So if you think about how this relates to your experience of your body, it might be time to explore something new. So if you have not yet tried something that you're interested in, now's a good time to explore it. So what new things might I try? Some new physical activities, some new foods to nourish your body. What is new to explore? How can you be that, embody that Fool energy, and not fool as in like silly or ignorant, but fool as in brand new to the world? How can I embody that person who is willing to try new things and set off on new adventures? And then for mind, we have the Page of Wands. So we've got the Page of Wands. This figure is holding a wand and looking out into the distance. And there is just sort of this energy, again, similar to the Fool of exploration, but this is, it doesn't have the same sort of like bigness as the Fool does. And wands are related to creativity and passion. So if you think about wands in the context of your relationship with your mind, then again, it's like in what ways can you explore something new with your mind? And this is, I feel like both of these cards are quite interesting in the context of the community also having been in quarantine for several months now. You might feel, as a result of just our current climate, a feeling of being cooped up or some staleness. And what the cards are inviting you to in your body and mind are to try some new things. So maybe read some new books, maybe explore some topic that you have not yet been interested in, or maybe try making something new that you've been thinking about making, but you have not yet. And when you look at a figure on the card, you might also consider the fact that maybe you are not this figure, but there could be someone in your life that could help you in this regard. Maybe someone you know is working on something new, or could help inspire your creativity in some way. And then up at the top, we have the Two of Cups to represent the Spirit. And what I think is really lovely about this set that we have here, we have these two cards, body and mind, looking away from one another, maybe treating them as separate entities. But in this Two of Cups, these figures are now facing towards one another, holding the cups together. So it's a sense of mutual satisfaction. So for this particular spread, I would read this as we've got the Fool on one side and the Page on another, and they have united to a sense of satisfaction. So in this particular reading, I would say that for my client here, the key is to unite those two energies of body and mind together by exploring something new. And again, like an invitation to maybe explore some of those mind-body practices, that when you unite those two things, it could also lead to some sense of spiritual satisfaction as well. And if you want to take this card separately, just looking at the Two of Cups united, that is a satisfying relationship. It's an emotional satisfaction. And I think if you think about your spiritual state of being, that often feels like very heart-centered and like warm and cozy feelings. So in what ways can you nurture a relationship that you have with someone to make your whole self feel better? So that's a little 3-card draw with a general outlook. If you'd like to book your own tarot reading, you can do that at www.omchantress.com.